So they finally let GMBN on holiday, and here I am in sunny Spain. And it got me thinking about all of the travel troubles I've had in the past. So for you lovely viewers, I'm going to share with you some traveling mistakes to avoid that I've sadly learned the hard way. Not many airlines have size restrictions these days, although they do specify that you'll need to put your bicycle in a bike bag or a bike box. Even a cardboard box will do. But weight restrictions do vary. Some can be 20 kilos, some can be 32 kilograms. Now, for reference, my Orbea Rallon in that e-box bag came to 27 kilos, just bike and a soft shell. So you really do want to weigh beforehand and check that your airline will allow you to take on something that's up to 32K if you're using an enduro bike. If you're traveling with a downhill bike and you have a heavy duty case, you might find that you're going to start to creep over that 32 kilogram mark. So what I'd advise is either purchasing the lightest bag that you can and taking some of the parts off to put into your main luggage, or even considering a cardboard box, as that's probably the lightest way you can transport your bike. Another tip is to, if you can, pick up your bike and stand on some scales, or even use fish scales so you can actually see the weight before you even get to the airport. Don't get your tools confiscated off you. Now, tools can go in your checked luggage and your bike box, but they absolutely cannot go into your hand luggage. Rich has tried to take one of these ratchet tools onto a plane before in his hand luggage, and he's had that confiscated off him. Also, CO2 canisters, absolute no-no. You can't take them even in your checked luggage. Blake, I'm looking at you. Just don't try. You're gonna get stopped. So battery-powered tools are also fine in your checked luggage, although they do recommend that any batteries go into your hand luggage. Word of advice, take your batteries out anyway, and make sure you tape up any levers, because if those things go off on the belt, your luggage is going to get pulled aside for bomb disposal inspection. All airlines will refuse any liquids of more than 100 mils in a container, and they'll refuse anything more than a litre in total. So that's 10 100 ml containers. So think a few gels, maybe a couple of hand sanitizers, and that's about it. To be honest, it's safer to put it all in your checked luggage, which has no limit whatsoever. Your helmet is considered safety equipment, which means it doesn't have to conform to all your hold luggage restrictions, or your hand luggage restrictions for that matter. This can be considered separately, so you can attach it to your hand luggage bag, which is what I prefer to do, or you can even carry it in its own case separately to your hand luggage. Packing your bike badly is a classic mistake to avoid. You don't want it damaged before you've even started the holiday. The first, most important, is probably your rear mech. Now that's hung together on a mech hanger, which is designed to fail, is designed to break. So it's probably best you remove your rear derailleur to save the mech from being bashed and damaged in transit. Next up is probably your disc rotors. They are so easy to bend just from being knocked on the sides. If you've got a few minutes, it's probably a good idea to remove those. Fork stanchions are precious cargo, and they can get easily scratched even by your own bike. No matter how sturdy your bike bag is, you want to make sure that your handlebars are away from swinging around your forks, because they could scratch up your precious stanchions. If one of your brake levers is accidentally knocked, it will push the brake pistons all the way in and make it very difficult for you to put your wheels back in. It might even make the pads stick together completely. The best thing to do is to put a spacer in between your brake pads. At the very worst, you can take out your brake pads, but the pistons can still move in, so you might have to wiggle them out when you come to put your wheel back in. Almost all airlines will make it compulsory for you to deflate your tires because of the change of pressures when they go up in the air. I would recommend leaving a little bit of PSI in your tyres just to keep the tyres on and to protect your rims a little bit in passage. Don't scrimp on spares. You can never guarantee there'll be a shop nearby if you need one, and you certainly can't guarantee that they'll have what you want. I bring pretty much everything. For the sake of a couple of kilos in a bag the size of a pair of shoes, I can have a mini workshop and my bike will be working all week. I've been known to go through a set of tyres and a set of brake pads and even needed to bleed my brakes on a week-long trip in the Alps. So having the key maintenance essentials at least should keep your bike running all week for that peace of mind, but also maybe saving you a little bit of money as well. So there's my top traveling mistakes to avoid, ones that I've sadly learned firsthand. But if I've missed any, let us know in the comments below and help out the GMBN Tech community with future travel plans.